It's crazy Monday. Boop, boo, doo, doo, doo. It's Monday. Boop, boo, doo, doo, doo. Monday. Boop, boop, boo, doo, doo, doo. It's Monday. Internet. What's up, Internet? What is going on? It's Monday, and my internet's running super slow today, so if anything's looking choppy, I blame the internet. Woo! Well, it's good to be here. Let's see. First to the chat, Tim Lewis. Oh, knocking Frank all the way down to the fourth hello. So that was 5. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Frank Dominguez in a row. The record first to the chat. But Tim Lewis starting it out this week on the 23rd, yeah, 23rd, right, of October, 2017. Right on. Well, glad to be here today. Let's say hi to everybody in the chat real quick. Dank Tanks is here. Bare Bottom Aquariums. Wushu Jimmy Brown is here. Oh, I forgot to click the thing over here, you guys. Oh, whoops! I just closed it. I closed it instead of clicking it. Smooth. So much smoothness, you guys. So much smoothness. It's unbelievable. Actually, why don't I just bring the mouse over here? There we go. Yeah. And then I can just act like I'm just looking over there. It's something real important. Let's see. Excuse me. Where were we? Frank Dominguez, Gary B, Tanks a Lot. What's up? Cute Nicks. Wyatt Ward, Glass Boxes is here. Steven Scogland. Hello. Mary Beth Mabe is here. Hello, happy Monday. It's raining. Yes, it has been raining. The torrential downpour has been coming down pretty relentlessly. It's been rainy, windy, rainy, windy, rainy, windy in that order, and sometimes at the same time. Otherwise, it hasn't been that bad. I'm getting nice little sun breaks and stuff like that, but overall, pretty darn good. Wushu's asking, what's the weather like on Neptune? Extremely windy. It's much windier than here in Tacoma. So, you know, it's not as enjoyable up on Neptune as it is here. It's pretty nice. Oh, V-Stag's here. What's up, V-Stag? How you doing? Hey, FU2 with the Frank Dethrone. That's right. Frank had five in a row first to the chat, which was pretty amazing. I'm amazed that he managed to do that. And do it that well too. Jim Meeker's here. What's up, Jim? Justin Shepard. Dank Tanks, I already said hi, but don't believe them. Life is solely based upon pure talent. That's right. CJ Black, yay, finally catching the live show. That's right. I did post in, I tried to post in the videos this weekend. I don't remember if I did both of them. I know I did one of them that was a reminder of when the live show is. If people are confused, it's Monday through Friday, 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I did see somebody posted that I'm on Eastern Standard Time. Nope, I'm on Pacific Standard Time, West Coast over here, West Coast in the United States. So if anybody's confused about that, Monday through Friday, 4 o'clock sharp. I think we started at 4:01 today. I was trying to feed the dog some pills, but we'll get to that in a minute. Gone Mad is here, and Iris. I think they're both here. I bet you Iris is here too. If anybody is wondering what that weird video I uploaded this weekend was all about, is this piece right here, which is getting shipped out tomorrow morning. I've had trials and tribulations to get this thing shipped out, namely getting the box sorted, and there was no box. There's just no box that will fit this properly. So I'm crafting a box, but in order for me to craft a box, I have to wrap it in plastic first, and then put cardboard corners on it, and then make a box around it, right? Now the problem with that is that I ended up doing a bunch of extra poly coats on top of this, a bunch of clear coats, and they were not cured yet. So the problem is, if I had done that wrap, the poly would have grabbed onto the wrap and it would have never come off, and it would have been pretty much a disaster. So now it's fully cured and ready to get wrapped and stuck in the box and shipped out tomorrow. So that's I'm pretty stoked for it. Hopefully Eric and Iris like it as much as I do. Let's keep saying hi to people here. Kyle Paith, ooh, one of our patronizers. Fishhead2925, what's up? Nisi is here reminding people to hit the like button. Frank Dominguez is actually driving right now. Oh, he's late for work. Even driving, he was still fourth to the chat. That just goes to show you a level of dedication. I think that everyone would be happy to have anybody dedicated like that in their lives. I'm super thankful to have all you guys, the subscribers, the fans, and all that, the patronizers for sure, which we've got a little bit to talk about that today, and a couple other things also. The creepy Les Claypool voice. Oh yeah. Somebody's challenging me to try and do that voice for the whole entire live stream, and I don't think I could make it through. I don't think I could. That is me, by the way. That is me doing that wonky voice, but I don't think I could do it for an hour realistically and like read comments and stuff like that and stay in character. I just don't think I could. I would laugh. I'd probably end up laughing and then, stop doing it. Let's see. CJ Black title change time. What? Oh, whoops. I forgot to change the title in this. Oh, man. This is episode 592. I think. Episode 592. Fluitans. Okay, there we go. I changed it. I changed the title just that fast. Thank you very much for pointing that out, CJ. I forgot to change the title on the stream there. We don't want to mess with YouTube. We don't want to mess with YouTube these days, right? Let's see. Hey everybody. Hey Joel and hey everyone. Oh, Ryan Brown. Sid Erickson is a newbie here. Oh, right on. Everybody say hi to Sid. The Turtle Girl. Hard Cheese. Hard Cheese asking how Mr. Chips is. We'll get to that in just a minute. If everybody that's waiting on Mr. Chips. Mary Beth said the title's the same as Friday. Yep. Sorry about that. I thought I had changed it. Sometimes this thing gets a little bit wonky. I thought I had changed it, but let me double check here and make sure that it actually went through. I may have to fix it after the fact. Let's see here. Do. All right. It looks like it's changed over here. Yeah, okay. So hopefully I got the title fixed. Sorry about that, guys. That's my bad. That's my bad. Whoops. Sometimes I get a little ahead of myself. It's been a very hectic, busy day here today, so you have to bear with me if I'm a little scatterbrained. Famous Jones is here. What's up, man? I know that Monday's a good day for live streaming. I know a lot of people like to show up on Mondays, so it's always good. But we're here all week. Rare weekday I catch, let's see. Rare weekday I catch it live. My girl is convinced you're my dad. Well, Ryan, you'll have to let us know how old you are, and I can verify the possibility. How about that? I could verify at least just the possibility. How old is Ryan Brown? Let's see. Donald Edwards is here. What's up? Sorry about the title. Yep, I had the title. You guys are right. I had the Friday's title still on there, and that's my bad. Let's see. Glass boxes don't ever ship using a glass box. Steve, there was no audio in your live stream. It sounded like Alfred Hitchcock. Okay. Do you own any herps? No, I don't. Let's see, I got it all figured out. Okay, I'm just trying to check up with everybody's chat here, and then we'll talk about some other stuff. What it do, Big Pedro? What's going on? There we go. Yeah, sorry about the title snafu there, guys. I know it's a little bit weird and confusing. Let's see, 27, not likely. Nope, not possible. I can do the math in my head. If you were 24, it would be possible, but not at 27. Donald Edwards says he sees the dog is in the background. There are 2 dogs in the background. There's one Bitty Brown's right there, snoozing. And then which direction do I have to go? I have to go this way. There is Mr. Chips. There is Mr. Chips. All right, so a quick update on Mr. Chips. Okay, so as you guys know, last week he was pretty distressed with how he got hurt last week. He basically, I think he jumped off the bed and hurt his back, right? You know, I took him to emergency care, which of course costs hundreds of dollars, and they basically gave him some pain pills, which is almost the exact same thing that would happen for people if you go to the emergency room. It's like, well, here, take these Valium and come back to the doctor next week, right? So we did that, and that cost a lot. But then it was like, okay, well, I'll go to his regular doctor on Monday, and we'll check him out, and we'll see what's going on. And so we went and got X-rays today. Got him checked out, got his blood work, and we're waiting on his blood work. We're going to find out what's up with that. He was a pretty good dog while he was in there. Apparently, he was super good for the X-rays. The X-rays were not a problem, but when it came time to get a urine sample, not cool. Bit a couple of them, which I can completely relate to. I think if some weirdos were trying to, you know, steal some of my urine or something, I'd probably bite them too. I think that's exactly the reaction that I would have. But he was a good dog while he was there. Otherwise, they got his blood and stuff. We're waiting on the blood report, right? So they're going to check out the toxicology, I believe. Don't quote me, I'm not a doctor. But we're going to check out his toxicology to make sure his liver and kidneys are functioning properly, amongst some other stuff that's going on. And we'll see what's happening with that. Now, the X-rays didn't show a whole lot of damage. He didn't necessarily have something obviously screwed up with his back, but you know, of course, the vet that was reading them today was going, okay, I'm just the initial person to look at them. I'm not the radiologist, right? So the people that read the X-rays to find out what's going on. So they're going to check so then those results should come in on Wednesday to find out what's going on. But it looks like he could either have pretty severe arthritis, which is obviously fairly difficult to find out if a dog has arthritis or not, because you can't ask them if their joints hurt, you know what I mean? So hopefully, fingers crossed, here we are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars later. Hopefully he'll be okay. And honestly, you guys know that I've been following along. I get totally freaked out when the dog is freaked out, and so we're just doing our best right now to medicate, keep him comfortable. He's definitely been moving more and more as the days have gone by. He doesn't seem to have any neurological problems, so which is good, because that means that his brain-spine connection is still reasonably intact. He doesn't seem to have any neurological damage, which is a really good sign, and that hopefully he's just basically going to be on Advil and extra vitamins for the rest of his life, pretty much. So hopefully everything works out, and it'll work out pretty well. We'll see how it goes. So far, the news is good. He's over there being super pissed off at me right now because I gave him his meds. But, you know, I'm not very good at administering the meds to dogs, honestly. Vicky is super good at it. She's got the mom gene, you know. She's like, put the pill in your mouth and swallow it. And I'm like, here, eat some peanut butter. Try some cheese. I don't know. Like, like a doofus. So hopefully he's doing real well. And everything will continue to get better. We'll see how it goes. But fingers crossed, pretty stoked that that nothing was like really damaged or obviously damaged. So it feels like good news. It feels like good news, and hopefully he'll be okay. Hopefully, luckily, we'll see. Okay. Now, a couple other questions that we have to, that I think that we should address to get them out of the way real quickly. People have been asking, a couple of people have asked me, hey, there's still commercials on stuff. And yes, there still are some commercials on stuff, because we have, if anybody is unfamiliar, go check out the Patreon page there. That's how we crowdfund doing this show amongst all the other videos and stuff like that. That's how we crowdfund. And some people are going, hey, there, we hit our crowdfunding goal, right? To get rid of the advertising, which is our goal here, is to go independent and not be reliant on the advertising, for numerous reasons. A lot of people, as Jim is saying, YouTube Red, for the win, right? But I don't, I'm not involved in YouTube in that that facet, right? So I would endorse people to get YouTube if you guys, YouTube Red, if you guys like it, if that's something that you like. If not, then I wouldn't. I personally pay for, let's see, I pay for Amazon Video and I pay for HBO. Those are the two sort of services, I guess, whatever you want to call them. Those are the two that I sort of pay for, I guess, like out of pocket. If that makes any sense to anybody out there. But YouTube Red is pretty cool because you don't have to watch commercials or any stuff like that, and it does pay out to creators, people that are creating video and stuff like that. But people were going, hey, why are there still commercials on if we hit our goal? Okay, because the Patreon is a monthly deal, right? So at the end of the month, like whether it's the 30th or the 31st, is when, if you kick in $1 or $5 or $10 or $20, or some people all the way up to $200, that gets charged at the end of the month as a one-time monthly thing. So we have to get to the end of the month for it to be charged, for it to be verified, right? So over this last weekend, we had 4 different patronizers change how much they were going to patronize, right? Some went up, some went down. We had 4 patronizers leave that didn't want to patronize anymore for a number of reasons, good or bad. It's okay. It's all, if you guys want to do it, you can. If you guys don't want to do it, you don't have to. But we have to get to the end of the month to verify that number, that it's actually going to go through for next month. And let's say that like no one patronized the following month and it went back down to $1 or something, right? I would basically just have to turn all the ads back on. So it's weird. It's a weird situation, and I understand that it's weird to a lot of people out there, and they go like, I don't, I just want to watch your show. I don't want to pay for it. And it's like, okay, yeah, I mean, that's fine. That's totally up to you guys. If you feel like you get some value out of this, the interactivity of it, you learn some stuff here or don't learn some stuff. Maybe you're just entertained by the weirdness of my voice and you don't have to buy sleeping pills anymore. That's been coming up a lot. Apparently a lot of people listen to this show right before they go to sleep, and now they don't have to buy Ambien anymore. Right? Or whatever it is that puts them to sleep. So everybody has like different reasons why they like the show. So if that's that, so that's hopefully a quick explanation to those people out there. As Nick Rose is saying, if I could get solid internet, cable would be gone. That's the thing here, is that like, I ended up getting rid of cable TV to offset the internet costs, basically. If that's hopefully that makes sense. Oh, John Gonzalez says, explain it like I'm 5. Okay, it costs money, so hopefully people will pay money to make show. Hopefully that works. Yeah, so we have, obviously I have big goals here. Somebody was asking me over this weekend. They're like, seems like you have like really big goals to do a lot of big productions and stuff. And I'm like, yep, big goals, big productions. That's the plan. You know, if we can, you know, it would be really difficult for me to come up with the budget in order for me to be able to do it, and the time. That's one of the big issues that I've had over the years, like trying to do YouTube, and, you know, doing 2 to 3 videos a week while in my spare time trying to get everything done. You know, so that meant that I was able to do like a couple videos a week. People are always like, I want you to do this video, I want you to do that video, I want you to do this video, and it's like, you know, I don't have time to do all that stuff, so because I'll be out making money. So the goal here is to be able to fund it so that there's more time to produce more stuff, which is why this last weekend I was able to get 2 weekend videos along with the live streams all week, and doing the podcast with Corey from Aquarium Co-op, if you haven't checked that stuff out. So we're doing a bunch of shows, we got a bunch of production going on, and that's why people patronize, is able to pay for that kind of stuff. And then but as I said, you know, if we have to be beholden to the advertising, then it always makes it super difficult to necessarily do a realistic show. Like if I swear on here, YouTube will take away the ad money. If I say but or whatever, they'll say, oh, they'll just demonetize it. And I've seen a lot of people posting a lot of videos, a lot of Facebook posts about all this stuff that they're getting demonetized. I get demonetized too. And one of the tricks that YouTube does is like, so we've got 66 people watching right now. So like in the first 3 to 4 hours that this uploads, it'll get most of its views. People don't go back and watch. There's not that many people that go back and watch a long video later on. You know, once it's like a week or 2 weeks old, people just don't go back and watch it. They just don't. So one of the things that YouTube does is goes, oh, well, if you guys are uploading this, we'll just hit you with, we'll demonetize your video, not give you an explanation for it. And if you have under 1,000 views, they won't review it, right? So if I get like 800 views in the first day, right? So if I got 800 views in the first day, and then, you know, just the trickle in views over the next couple of weeks, basically what they would do is I would be unmonetized for the beginning of the video, right? And then they would go, oh, okay, we'll pay you from here on out, where you'll just get these little trickle views and stuff like that. So it's pretty interesting how they figured out how to mess with the creators. Is go, all right, in the first couple days, we'll just say that, oh, we had to demonetize your video because there may or may not be content on there that's not agreeable to the advertisers, right? And then they'll remonetize it later on when there's not that many people watching the older video, right? Because now I'm making a new video, so people are going to watch the new video. So it's pretty crafty what they're doing, and that's like the big reason for the Patreon. I started doing the Patreon, I don't know, a year and a half ago or something like that, right after Patreon launched. Mainly because like an artist friend of mine was like, hey, you really need to check out this site. I started it up, and then I never really got any patronizers until like probably about 3 or 4 months ago, when I really started mentioning it all the time. I was like, look, here's the thing, you guys can kick in $5 a month. And right now we have 82 patronizers, which is amazing. A few months ago, if you'd asked me 82 people would be kicking in to make your show, I would have been like, you're crazy. That don't make no sense. But that's where we're at right now. And not only is that very encouraging, but it's also at the same time, it brings this level of gratitude that makes me want to keep going. Like, not only is it just encouraging in the like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pay my bills, keep the lights on and keep the internet paid and that kind of stuff, but it's also encouraging on the gratitude side, like, oh wow, man, like a whole bunch of people are actually interested to like do this stuff. So That's kind of the big thing for me, the reason that I started doing it. So we're still doing it. We got a bunch of people. We're way off hitting our goal. At some point in time, we'll hit our goal, which is a tremendous amount of money. Those of you that have been, those of you that follow, like, Corey and Jimmy over at Aquarium Co-op, it is my goal to have a couple of Jimmys, and it is Corey's goal to have more Jimmys, right? To hire more people on. It is my goal to eventually be able to hire some guys on to go do projects, like go places and do a bunch of stuff. I mentioned it in one of the live streams, was that at some point in time, to be able to go to other cities and stuff like that and help people out with their systems, and make a show around some of that stuff. Also, like going out to check out some of the ins and outs of some of the aquaponic systems that I know that are out there, that I don't have money to travel to them right now and shoot video and stuff. So but that's the ongoing thing. And as CJ is saying, that yes, YouTube is playing games with the money. Well, they take 45% of the money anyway. That's one of the big things. You make 55% of what is earned. So that's kind of the funny thing. Like if I go to my analytics, you realize, like, oh, they took over half of what is there. So I feel like it's a lot more value to the people, is just to go, hey, let's just turn off these stupid truck ads and diaper ads. And I think I saw an ad for, I think I saw an ad for a Go Feely, like, lady movie. And then the next video I watched that was just playing on my thing, it played a, like, first-person murder shoot-'em-up game was the next commercial I got. And then I think the next commercial after that was for, like, whiskey or something. It was like, this is ridiculous. So it's kind of a weird situation, and it's like, it's a little bit bonkers. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but that's what's up. And that's what's happening. And as you guys know, I like to give a shout out to the patronizers out there. And it's I don't know. If one person had to pay 10 grand a month, it's a lot of money. If 10,000 people had to pay $1, it's not a lot of money. So that's just, I guess that's the way I look at it. I don't know. It's weird. Priscilla MK is just stopping by to say hi, making dinner. Oh, hey, Priscilla. Mary Beth may have had to go stir the beans. They're smelling good. But you forgot the cornbread. Oh, the cornbread is quintessential. I am making salsa verde with pork ribs and probably some rice and broccolini, probably. No, we don't have any broccolini. Asparagus. So everything will be kind of green and brown and drab on the plate, but delicious. So that's tonight's menu. Let's see. Mary Beth Mabe, I uninstalled the Aquarium Co-op app and it said it crashed and I wasn't even on it. I'm not sure. As I've said before, I don't set up the app part for the podcast. We keep having recording problems. Which is one of those things, which is one of those situations that we keep dropping the recordings, which is a perfect example of, now I got to go buy an SD audio recorder, right? Which I'm most likely going to buy an SD audio recorder. And probably use it at the Chicago Aquarium Experience. If anybody is going to that, I will be there. I will be there, be square, and I'll probably be throwing some of Corey's t-shirts at people and having a good laugh, because I know that he released a video earlier where he was showing those off. So let's see. Well, Mary Beth is saying, oh, sounds so much better than my cheapo meal. Well, the rice we buy it in bulk out of the bins, The asparagus was a bit of the splurge, and the pork ribs, we bought all those on sale this summer, so we have those actually frozen. We bought a whole bunch of those when they were marked down, super cheap. And all of the fixings for the salsa verde came from our garden. So the bell peppers, the green tomatoes, the tomatillas. Oh, the one thing is the cilantro. The cilantro didn't come from our garden, so because our cilantro bolted and turned it into coriander, seeds, and but we did harvest the coriander seeds, and we've got those in the cabinet, and I can probably use the coriander seeds in it if we wanted to. But most everything came from either around here or sales and bulk purchase and stuff like that. Let's see here. Let's answer a couple of the questions in here because they are fish questions. Let's see. Classical Aquatics. Speaking of money, if you sell your stuff to your local fish store for store credit, how much do you normally get? My local fish store is offering 50%. Okay. This is a question I get a lot, and that comes in the regards of if you're selling stuff to your local store, what kind of money should you be looking to get? And the easiest way to explain this, right, in just kind of basic term, would be that, oh, what's this stupid thing doing over here? All right, hold on, sorry about that. Would be that if you're going to get cash, if you want to get cash, it's typically 15 to 20% of what the normal price would be, right? So if something is like $6, you'd probably get $1 for it. If they sell it for $6, you'll probably get $1 for it. So that's a pretty easy breakdown right there if they're going to give you cash and you're going to walk out the door. Now, often I would get store credit. Now, store credit is very useful if you're somebody who's buying a lot of stuff from a local fish store, because now you can really offset the things that you are going to buy from the local fish store, right, by bringing in the stuff that you're going to bring in. And 50% store credit is right about correct. That's going to be right about correct. So if we stick with that $6 item, like let's say you're going to bring in a shrimp that they sell for $5.99, you'd probably get $3 in store credit instead of $1 in cash. And in the past, it was very useful for me to get that store credit because I would use the store credit to buy stuff that I would use all the time. Food, extra filters, extra power strips, extra substrates. I would just buy bags of substrate and just put them in storage somewhere and just hold on to them because it's like, like Fluval stratum. It's dry in the bag. It's not even wet in the bag, so it's not going bad. Fluorite is dry in the bag. It's not going bad. So I would do stuff like that. I'd buy extra bags of substrate. I would do a ton of, buy a ton of like driftwood and like crazy rocks and stuff like that were super cool. And I didn't want to shell out like $60, for a piece of wood. So the store credit does come in like really useful if you are in the middle of doing, like fish room projects. Like say you have like 10 different aquariums and you're going to be buying stock for them. You're going to be buying plants and all that kind of stuff. So that sounds like a pretty good deal, honestly, and I would go for it. That's what I would go for, about 50% of store credit. And like I said, if you want cash, it's going to be much less than that. Let's see here. Mary Beth Mabe, I get the wild turkey commercials like 5 times while watching NBC. Yeah, I don't want to watch commercials. I hate watching commercials. And I especially hate watching commercials for things like, hey, go get drunk. It's like, I'm sober. I've been sober for, hold on, let's check. Let's check the calendar over here, guys. 1,259 days I've been sober, and I don't want to see commercials for people having a great time while they get hammered, because I'm trying to watch a a hockey clip or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's just stupid. And it's very annoying, and I don't want to have to be doing that to other people. I would rather, you know, at some point in time, I'll probably end up getting some kind of commercial deal with somebody who's cool and be able to do just wacky commercials for them. As far as that goes now, we're just building the community. And, you know, the way that I look at that is like, oh, well, if, let's say I did get a commercial deal, like let's say my goal here is $20,000 a month, right? Let's say that that's my goal, because I could hire 2 people and we could go places and go do a bunch of stuff, right? Which realistically, that is my goal. That is my goal, is to get to that point so that I can take 2 people, hire them on, get all the equipment we need, and go places to go do stuff. You know, just attack people's houses and fix things and stuff like that. And also shoot all the video and stuff like that. One of the guys I actually talked to the other day, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm a little excited on it. I don't know. And I might be ahead of myself. But let's say we did have a big advertiser come in, and let's say that the Patreon was at like $4,000 or something, right? So basically what I would do is I would say, hey guys, good news here. We get to make fun of our advertiser here, and they're going to pay for the ads to be on here, but they are a good company. We're just going to make fun of them, right? Now, that would leave us the opportunity of that Patreon money to do more of a different project, right? Now, the amount of ideas that I have to do all sorts of stuff with, like, for instance, just the extra Patreon money, I think would be tons of fun. I think we would do a bunch of super fun stuff, and it would definitely be worth it to you guys. At the very least, if people were patronizing, I could even just work out good deals with certain companies and then just distribute whatever I get from those big companies back to the people that patronized, you know, and just kind of stupid stuff like that, you know. So I don't know, but I don't even know why I even started talking about that, but that's where we're at now. Let's see. Which 3 or 5 channel feeds would you recommend me to view? I know Aquarium Co-op would be one. I actually learned of your channel from Corey and Jimmy. Let's see. Off the top of my head, I would say Flip Aquatics would be one of them. I would definitely check in on. Aquarium Co-op, because, you know, he just has so much content, and he is, like, I'm starting to know the guy a lot more in person, and I'm starting to know the guy a lot more in person, and he is a really good guy. So he definitely is giving good advice and stuff like that. LR Brett's is tons of fun to watch, and his quality is getting better and better and better. Steenfot, as Dank Tanks put on there, is definitely somebody that I would watch. I don't watch a ton of contributors out there, and I'm not somebody who really wants to go around talking poorly of other creators and stuff like that, but I've had bad experiences with some of them, but those guys I would say definitely to check out. I know Steve Skoglund, who's in the chat, has a bunch of new aquarium videos where he's working on his fish room. I'm trying to see who else is in the chat here who has stuff. Priscilla does a ton of art. I would check her out. Not really seeing anybody else who does a ton of creating. Let me see here. Rob Hicks is in the chat. I don't know if he does videos or not. Whoops, autoplay. Yeah, there we go. He's got some videos up. It's only a couple though, so you might run out of content pretty quickly. So Rob, get to making more videos, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see who else here is in the chat. Those are the ones quickly off the top of my head that I would recommend. But LR Bretts is there. Nisi is posting Flip Aquatics. Ella Gregory is saying King of DIY. I would watch the King of DIY's early videos. I like a lot of his early stuff. I know that a lot of people got mad at me earlier in the year because I was people felt like I was talking poorly about Joey, but I like Joey. I think he's a cool guy. I just, you know, I felt it was kind of poor what he did with the fundraising thing because it didn't make a lot of sense. But, yeah, people got mad at me and, you know, whatever. Sorry. I just, you know, I just find it odd that it would take $140,000 to build a garage as a contractor. I don't know. All right, well, it's time to go to the video. It's time to go to this video. Whoever's been watching the channel over this last little while here know that I've been setting up this 150 gallon that I actually replaced. This tank was there was a 180 gallon in its spot, but it had that stupid black back or the blue background that I hate, and which that aquarium now is up at Corey's house. He came down and got it and took it up to his place, but I don't like the blue background, and that's just me. Let's, you know, I'm just one of those guys. I like the black background for whatever reason. I don't like a clear background either, so I just like the black. It just gives me good contrast. It just works better in my brain, you know, when I'm looking at it. But I think he's going to do a puffer tank or something with that. I don't know. Don't quote me on what he's doing with that aquarium. But that one's up there at his house now, so we'll see what he does with that. But this is the 150 here, which we've definitely put some good plants in here. I'm liking the scape. People that watched over the weekend got to actually finally see some of the video of unleashing the 1,000 cherry shrimp that are in here from Potato's house. Some of these have already been sold off. People have messaged me that they're going to be buying some of these shrimp. So good news, because that's the whole reason for having these here. I am going to keep some in reserve for the colony building. I will keep some of these shrimp here to keep a colony going, and eventually we'll be I'll be running them underneath one of my aquaponics systems at a later date down the line. As the killifish I have breeding in the 250, eventually some of the cherries will go in there. They're in the sump right now, which those were already in there before. They've been in there for quite a while now. Famous Jones is saying, let's see, Famous Jones is saying H2O plants are good, and I'm just taking that out. Sorry, Famous. I don't like to talk about that guy, but H2O plants are good. I cannot verify whether or not his plants are good or not. I've never ordered them, so I don't know. This plant here, some people are asking if this is Physidens. HC Aqua is asking if this is Physidens. No, this is mini Riccia Fluitans of the mini variety, which I forgot to put in the title, but I put it in there now. This is mini Riccia. It's actually it's a pretty dark color right now because I've been growing it in essentially a zero light situation. It's basically I've had it growing in a really low light situation in one of my sumps, and honestly I didn't know I had it in there because I was doing some sump maintenance earlier in the week. Now that little piece off to the left there, that is Physidens. See that little piece on the white sitting? Oh, I wish. Where's the whiteboard feature? Oh, hold on. We're gonna pause this. Oh, check this out, guys. We got, not only do we have the pause feature actually works live now, we supposedly have a whiteboard feature, and I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to do this real quick. Widgets, whiteboard, badoom, right click, tool, freehand, okay, color, all right, layout. Oh, we want it to be smaller than that. Hold on a sec. Okay, hold on. Okay, wait, what? Okay, oh, here we go. I can change the color of the whiteboard pointer. Now I just need to, oh man, I just drew in the corner. Okay, so this right here All right, I'm drawing on it with my mouse, which I'm really not good at. He's got skills, folks. I'm an artist, but not with the mouse. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go around it like a commentator on football. See, this right here is a real athletic maneuver. Okay. So that piece right there is Fluitans. This that I'm gluing, which is this stuff right here, is Riccia Fluitans. Riccia Fluitans. Fluitans. So that is the difference between the two. And now let me see if I can. What happens if I turn the whiteboard off and then turn it back on? Oh, okay. Actually, how do I clear it? Oh, there it is, right there. Clear whiteboard. Now I'm gonna change my pointer from red. I'm gonna turn it to bright blue and make it thick. Okay, here we go. All right. So this right here, guys, that's Fluitans. This down here is Riccia. There. Oh, yeah. All right. We're learning with the whiteboard live. And we'll clear it. Okay, sweet. There we go. Okay, so let's turn... Oh, man, I have to turn the whiteboard off to turn the video back on. All right. Well, hey, you know, we're learning today. We're doing things live. We'll figure out what happens. And I do have to mention... a couple of people mentioned on Friday that this is a lot like the Jerry Todd Show, and I had not necessarily remembered what the Jerry Todd Show was. I have to agree with you guys. You guys are right. Somehow I'm reproducing a show that happened 40 years ago in a different way. Agreed. I'll agree it's a different way. I didn't know that I was kind of making the Jerry Todd Show, but this is very similar to the Jerry Todd Show. And I have to say, kudos to you guys for calling me on that one, because this is a lot like the Jerry Todd Show, and I just realized me figuring out the whiteboard live is a lot like excuse me. I had to get some of my coffee. I had to get more coffee in me, y'all. I had to get more coffee. So, let's see. My Esper pens keeps getting uprooted. Sterigine repens is it's super uprooted, and it is I will admit, is one of those plants that I have serious problems growing, which means I'm probably going to go get some more of it, and you know, get super frustrated with the sterigine again. Although I'm happy to say that my Monte Carlo troubles seem to be in the past. Most likely seem to be in the past, because I think I figured out what my problem was. I think it was a little low on potassium and it wasn't growing, but who knows? Either way, I think I got it sorted, and you know, it's continuing to grow. Let's see, bare bottom aquariums. Now I have to watch the Jerry Todd Show. I highly recommend anybody after this is over to go watch the Jerry Todd Show. It was a hootenanny, and I was laughing my pants off, and I realized, like, yep, those guys are basically doing kind of the stuff that I want to do. Sketch comedy is definitely not out of the realm of possibility that I want to go into, back into, I guess. Famous Jones is saying, watching your videos convinced me to use glue for placing plants on wood. Yep, using glue is a fantastic way to apply, and I know people will ask, what type of glue do I use? The link to it is in the description down below. So in the if you click on the description right below the video, there are links there to some of the products I use. There's one that says glue. Click on that, and it'll take you right to Amazon, to the type of glue that I use. So that's now here it is. Now here it is, like attached to the rock, and you guys will notice that I didn't actually glue it to the bottom of the rock. I actually glued it to the top of the rock. Now, Riccia is one of these plants that needs to be trimmed as it grows, because it will grow in an upward direction, and if I was to glue it to the bottom of the rock, it's very easy for it to grow like 2 or 3 inches up and not ever really notice, like, oh, I need to trim it. Because once it grows at like 2 or 3 inches up, here's the weird thing. Everything way down at the base will start to die off. Now, in nature, there's a good reason for that. That means that it is propagated enough to a certain point that it'll break off and float away and go and land on another spot and grow somewhere else, because they want continued propagation, and that's kind of the way that this propagates, essentially. There isn't necessarily a better way for me to describe it other than that. So this is something that needs to be glued high up on whatever you're gluing it on, and then remember, you got to check in on this every couple of weeks and trim it. The easiest way to trim it is just going to be use some nice sharp shears. Here's the crazy thing. I actually stopped by Petco, of all places, today because I was going to get some pill pockets for Mr. Chips there, so I could try to feed him his pills easier. They didn't. It was a confusing mess, and I got out of there. But I did notice that, well, because the 2 things I wanted to buy, they didn't have. They didn't have the pill pockets for whatever reason, and then they also didn't have it. I wanted to get a small 5-gallon aquarium, which I didn't have either. So I just was like, oh, screw this, and I had to go. So, but what I did notice is that they had the good Fluval shears and tongs there. They're way more expensive than the Amazon ones, so I highly recommend anybody to just find some nice looking ones on Amazon, order those, and just get them shipped out. It's way cheaper than the store. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend just running down to Petco right now and buying them if you don't happen to have them. But they do need to get trimmed. This plant does need to get trimmed every couple of weeks. Turn your filter off or whatever flow you have in the aquarium, and get a net handy, and that'll be the easiest way to do it. Trim it, net it, trim it, net it. If you leave your pumps on and your water's flowing all over the place, it'll fly off and it'll be super hard to net and all that kind of stuff. But trim it and net it all in one. You know, hold the scissors in your right hand, or whichever hand you're happier with having your scissors in, you know, whatever your predominant hand is, and trim it and then net it with the other hand. Pretty simple operation. It's a really attractive plant, I will tell you. It's a really attractive plant unless you don't maintain it, and it will get fugly as all get out if you don't trim it a lot. You definitely need to trim this. You need to keep up on. This is a plant that you need to keep up on. This is one of those plants that would be in what people would consider a high-tech aquarium with the air quotes around it, right? Is it a high-tech aquarium? Well, this is one of the plants that would go in a high-tech aquarium, and one of the parts that I oftentimes remind people that a high-tech aquarium isn't necessarily just having highlights, just having CO2, and just having fancy substrate and all that kind of stuff. One of the biggest things about a high-tech aquarium is that the plants really have to be maintained. They're not like the kind of plants you just put in there and leave them alone. But I do have some fairly low-tech plants in here. For instance, the Anubias is fairly easy to grow, pretty resilient. You know, the way that this tank is set up, the Nana Petite, the Anubias there will grow a little bit faster than some other people's, but you know, realistically, there isn't too much that you can do for Anubias to grow super duper fast. But that's one of the real big things about when people talk about a high-tech tank, is plants that need a ton of care and all that kind of stuff. Right here at the beginning of the video, I'm showing you guys the way that you could potentially plant this. Just lay it down onto the substrate and put a couple pieces on it, and it will attach to a bunch of that substrate and eventually spread it as a carpet. I don't recommend Riccia as a carpet. It's just way too chaotic of a plant, and it just turns into a let's see, we've all been to the bathroom before. It looks similar to you know, the brown paper, if you know what I'm saying. It will just get coated in poop and detritus and all stuff like that, and just turns into a big brown nonsensical mess. So I would stay away from doing it as a carpet, and that's just from my own personal experience and being super upset about it growing in really nice and then just getting grosser and grosser and grosser, and there really wasn't much to do with it over time. The mini Riccia sinks naturally. No, it does not. It does not sink. That's why you see me poking it down there. I have some substrate on it, which is weighing it down a little bit. But no, it will float like the regular Riccia. The mini Riccia, in my opinion, is a little bit easier to grow because it stays together a lot better than the full size Riccia. Just in my experience, that's what I've noticed. It grows together more and stays kind of more stable and is easier to trim and maintain than the standard size. That's just me, though. That's just me fumbling around, you know, being an old guy like I am and all that kind of stuff. Let's see, Ella Gregory, I just went high tech, but I need a drop checker because I don't know what I set my CO2 on. Good point, Ella. Anybody that is injecting CO2, I would definitely get a drop checker at some point in time. And somebody was asking me back here, and I want to make sure I check it out. Somebody was asking me about reactors. Where'd that go? Oh, 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 oh. Where'd that go? I can't find it. Oh, Kevin Keener had to leave. He's got to sling a bus through Seattle. Kevin, what are you doing in Seattle? Man, crazy. We should hang out. I think me and Kevin should hang out, and we'll have beard battles. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Ella Gregory was asking, do you think a CO2 reactor is better than an inline diffuser? In my experience, yes. I have found that an independent CO2 reactor is more effective. Sorry, I was like scrolling all the way back up there to find that. And by the time I found it, then you reposted it, Ella. So it's serendipitous, right? In my experience, I found that a independent reactor with a small pump is more effective for me. That it just worked out. It's a lot more stable, and the inline reactor oftentimes. So here's like kind of a pragmatic reason why I didn't like it as much. Also, is that it would get stuff gunked in the line. So that was pretty irritating if you have to take stuff apart and like clean those vinyl lines and stuff like that, which is another one of the reasons why I got rid of like rid of external filters. I did like the Rena external filter that I had for a long time, but cleaning the vinyl hoses and stuff like that was pretty much a pain in the buns, honestly, and I didn't enjoy that very much. So I ended up getting rid of those. That was one of the days that I switched over to sumps from external, like canister filters and stuff like that. That was kind of my motivation, having to do that stuff. Famous Jones is starting with Crypt Parva as my carpet and may add some dwarf sage to fill in the gaps. Don't plant them together; you'll regret it. You'll regret it once they grow together. Michael Hoffman is late. I'm in the machine shop milling custom housings for the custom lights I'm putting on the display tank. Nice. I like that. That's badass. And somebody else asked something that I wanted to answer. There was another thing I was going to talk about before we signed out here, but we are at the hour. We are at the hour mark, and we're going to be, I guess, wrapping it up basically. And we'll keep on keeping on. Oh, we have a new patronizer in the house. Let's see. Brand new patronizer, Ryan Bro. Ryan Bro N. Ryan Braun. Ryan Braun. Oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. I like it. I like it. Let's see. Notification. And the internet's going super slow today. Ryan Braun. Ryan Braun with the new $5 super chat. Right on, man. That's badass. Thank you. This stuff all adds up, you guys. It's like $5 a month. It's $5 a month for like 25 to 30 hours of me making videos and stuff like that. And that's like just what gets put up. And we're at the $729 mark, which means I'll I'm going to the aquatic experience, guys, and that's costing a lot of money. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, I'll be doing some electrical jobs coming up here, which you guys will probably see some video about that. But I want to give a shout out to all of the patronizers here, and I'm going to start at the let's see, what are we going to do? Let's start at the top before everybody tunes out. So everybody's tuning out. So first things first, Steenfot Aquatics, his live stream starts up here in the next couple of minutes. I normally click over and like turn that on. I'm not necessarily like super active over there, but I normally turn that on. You guys should check that out. And I'm going to start at the top contributors here and work my way down, as you guys will all probably just leave. I always notice like right around 5 o'clock, the viewers start dropping off. But check out the Patreon page. Not only is there a community portion there that you guys can kick in to help out. We're just trying to crowdfund this thing so we can do more and bigger projects, you know. So that's what this is all about. All the way at the top here, we've got the Aquarium Co-op at $250 a month, which is wild. Right below him, we've got Eric Gone Mad at $49.99 a month. Steven Skoglund at $44.65. Quickly followed up by Cute Nix at $25. Vince Grippa at $20. Kieran Egan at $20. The Fishy Mailman at $20. Sashimi Whiskey at $20. And Long Woo at $20. It's badass, you guys. What's the best way to give extra besides the Patreon super chat, or is there an instant way to give? Honestly, Tim, like the patronizing is probably the best way to do it. You can always click through the Amazon banner at Darkstar Arts. You could probably PayPal me money if you needed to do it instantly, but I'm pretty well organized to pay attention to the end of the month and just go like, okay, here's our budget for the next month. That's pretty much how I'm organized. I'm just one of those super anal people as far as like figuring out what my budget is, what I can spend, what I can't spend, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm pretty, I don't know, I'm pretty geared that way. But I think there is, I mean, you guys could always PayPal me if you guys really wanted to PayPal money. The super chat feature is like, it's like, what is it, 50 days out or something? If you guys super chat right now, it is like 50 days from now that it gets paid. So it's a little bit goofy, it's a little bit loopy, and it's a little bit wonky, you know, for sure. Oh yeah, oops, I forgot to go out of there. Michelle Angel is here. What's up? We're just talking about the Patreon people as we head out the door here. We're gonna head over to Steenfot and harass him a little bit and say hi and do all that stuff. But yeah, you could always contact me on darkstararts.com. My email's on there, and you can always figure something out. Let's see. Down here in the $10 reward club, we've got a bunch of people at $10 a month. Oh, Tim, that is a pretty good point that you got right there. Sometimes I have a little extra, not always at the end of the month. You can always super chat it in, and I totally appreciate that, and it's totally cool. You know, we could always PayPal or stuff like that, but the Patreon, you can raise and lower how much you want to how much you want to patronize. So let's say I had a fantastic month that was super awesome, and you wanted to, like, you were like, I gotta give this guy $50 because he made so many shows and he did so many videos and he did so much stuff and I laughed my ass off and blah blah blah. You could do that, and at the end of the month, and then you could drop it back down to like 10 or whatever your normal amount is. You can always adjust that stuff. So I don't know. Maybe I'll find my PayPal at some point in time and post it up in the chat. I don't know. It's over there. It's in the other computer. But at the $10 rewards, $10 group, $10 patronizers, we've got a bunch of people there. Joel Gillett, Doug of the North, who's new, and he's Nisi's spouse. We got Nisi of the North and Doug of the North kicking in, which is pretty dope. Miguel Karn, what's up? Jim Meeker, $10. Candy Overhauls, Eve Daigle, Jeff Myers, Tim Lewis, who's in the chat right now, Kyle Paith, who was in the chat today, Pax, Denzel Gregory, Nick K Aquatics, Rob Hicks Aquariums, Matt Gilmet, Jack Betts, Cichlid Bro, and M. Den Hollander. We also have Kevin Keener at $10 a month, and Jennifer J Sarchicino. Woohoo! All right. Down here in the $5 and more club, we got Pamela Earlywine, Bracken Ward, Ryan Braun, Classical Aquariums, James Hirsch, Frank, Catherine Ann Robideau, Jesse Stenner, Dennis Ballard, Dean Hanoi, Theodore Schultz, Lecter Records, Addison Nishijima, Karen Halbert, Kevin Hayes, and Gene Fensky. The $1 club is deep, and get ready for me trying to speed read and speed talk at the same time. Jeremy Brown, Donnie Hill, Barbara Jackson, Karen KZ Ellis, Alexandra Radon, Gary Brown, Colin Davis, Meow Aquatics, Sydney Erickson, G Cunningham, Greg Erxelben, god damn it, I don't know how to say that guy's name, Greg E. Ryan Brown, TJ Kelly, Famous Jones, Debbie Clayton, Michael Hoffman, Chris Hughes, Devin Arsenal of Color, Douglas Medlin, Margaret Ferris Parr, Caroline Epler, River Life, Ian Van Natter, Wyatt Hickson, Derek Runyon, HC Aqua, Dean Feldman, Sandman, Christina M., Allison Behringer, Teresa Cookie, Spencer Ballard, AMA Aquatics, Priscilla MK, Jeff Jackson, Thomas Donchek, and Matthew. Right on. Thank you very much, everybody. It's badass. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you all. I hope you have a fantastic evening. For sure, stay safe out there. Do not get weird. Get weird, but don't get too weird. Don't light fireworks off at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's ridiculous. People get pissed off. Oh, there it is. Eric Sleeben. Oh, Eric Sleeben. Ah, that's why. Eric's. I was missing the E. R. Eric Sleeben. There we go. I'm going to try and get better at it. I'm going to try and get better. I'm trying to learn. Angry fish guy. Eric Sleeben. All right, I'm trying. But I love all you guys. Don't get totally crazy. Time to head over to Steamfot Aquatics and give him a shout out. Oh yeah, tell him I sent you or something. I don't know. All right, later.